Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the excitement of college football. The Memphis Tigers make their traditional Tiger Walk to Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium, as today they take on, for the very first time, the Jaguars of Southern University, playing their 1,000th collegiate football game. And we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Hello again, everybody. Pete Pranica, Jay Sunholter. And Jay, these are two programs. I know Memphis won their first game, Southern lost their first, but two teams that are really in a good place in terms of their division and their conferences.
Yeah, both talented coming into this game. They've got some momentum on Memphis' side with a huge victory over Ole Miss last week. But for Southern, they're picked first in their division in the SWAC. 16 returning starters coming back. They've got experience here coming on the road. Yeah,
5 turnovers in their game against McNeese really hurt their cause. Meanwhile, for Memphis, fantastic effort, Jay. All phases of their team contributed.
Stars stood up. Brady White was excellent from the quarterback position, but it's really the running game, Pete. That's what really sold the deal for them. Patrick Taylor was outstanding in that game, and they really controlled the line of scrimmage and the defense. Adam Fuller's side of the ball, they dominated all day long.
Bryce Huff with the clinching safety. More on that Memphis running game. Patrick Taylor outstanding against the Rebels. Undisclosed lower leg injury, will not play today, but it was Kenneth Gainwell who helped Memphis seal the deal late in the fourth quarter.
The redshirt freshman, he's outstanding, running the ball, but also going out and motioning, setting up at the wide receiver position. He can do it all. He's going to be a guy that Coach Norvell uses in all different formations here today.
Memphis has tremendous depth at the running back position. Meanwhile, Southern, yes, turnovers hurt them against McNeese. The one thing that they were able to rely on was their defense, and Calvin Lunkins in the middle of that defense has been outstanding.
He's a great player, 6'1", 230 pounds, a fifth-year senior. He's the leader, he's the hammer, and he's going to be the guy that a lot of the pressure is going to be on him today to stop the run.
He's like a defensive coordinator on the field. He wears number 1 because he has the number 1 GPA at Southern University in their football team. When we come back, the starting lineups and the opening kick, it's Memphis and Southern moments away from the Liberty Bowl. Southern Jaguars in their human jukebox in the house this afternoon as they take on the Memphis Tigers. Southern losing their opener 34-28 to McNeese under head coach Dawson Odoms in his 8th season at Southern. Joined Southern as their defensive coordinator, took over when Stump Mitchell was fired back in 2012, and every full season Odoms has coached at Southern. They've had a winning record and winning their division, the SWAC, last season. Meanwhile, for Mike Norvell, they're trying to go for a three-peat of their division title. One of the youngest coaches in all of college football, very accomplished, coming to Memphis from Arizona State. Memphis Tigers won the toss, they deferred, and so Southern will get the football first. We are underway, and a touchback off the foot of Riley Patterson. And so Southern will come on out here to start. As I said, a 34-28 loss at McNeese. Take a look at their two-headed quarterback. Glendon McDaniel also goes by Bubba. Ladarius Skelton will be the starter. The issue, Jay, in the game against McNeese, Skelton loose with the football, fumbled it away a couple of times, and the change was made by Dawson Odoms midway through the game.
Turnover is the big issue. They need to protect the football. That's going to be the important factor for them here today.
Works from the gun, and the rollout pass is caught but out of bounds. Pass was complete to Jamar Washington, but he was out of bounds, and so it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. What they like about Skelton, that he is a good elusive runner, and so on the flip side, Memphis's defense is going to have to set an edge and make sure that they don't lose contain against a very talented runner from the quarterback position in Skelton.
Yeah, they really have to play assignment football, be at the right place, the right time, and then you cannot have missed tackles. Last week, an excellent job of wrapping up. No missed tackles. They need the same thing this week.
Memphis with a new defensive coordinator this year in Adam Fuller. His unit did an outstanding job limiting Ole Miss to just 10 points. 2nd down and 10, and the inside handoff and breaking into the open field. And a 1st down. But Londre Thomas making the stop on Devon Ben.
Well, an outstanding job up front. Jeremiah Abbey with the block to lead the way up the middle. The front of that defense really got shifted over to the left with the misalignment, the fake towards the left, the ball going right up the gut.
Ben carried 11 times for 33 yards against McNeese. Out route, and that is incomplete, intended for Hunter Register, but a flag on the play. The flag is at the line of scrimmage, not downfield. Edwin Lee is our referee. Bryce Huff, the defensive hero from the Ole Miss game, a little early on the jump, so it'll be 1st down and 5 from the 44-yard line of Memphis. Skelton with a man in motion, fakes, keeps, cuts through the defensive line, breaks contained to the 20 to 15 and out of bounds at the 13-yard line. And you see how dangerous Ladarius Skelton can be with his feet.
And Pete, he really reminds me of Lamar Jackson in a lot of ways, wearing number 8, but here's the elusiveness. He can throw the ball, but in the open field, that's where he's so dangerous, making guys miss.
Southern working with some tempo, play fake, pitch out going wide to Washington, and Washington escorted out at about the 7-yard line. Londre Thomas again making the stop.
And for Memphis, this defense, we already see they're getting attacked on the edges. They've got to keep contained and try to get that ball back inside where help is.
Skelton and Ben with 29-yard rushes on this drive. Ben wrapped up, pitch to the outside, and a touchdown. Jamar Washington working to the outside.
And here we see the fake up the middle, and then Skelton holding on to the ball just long enough to have the defender come up, then pitching it off. And again, out on the alley, wide open. Southern having success on the outside running plays.
7-yard rushing touchdown. The drive 5 plays, 75 yards in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Extra point is good. Well, Memphis and their coaches telling us they wanted to play with tempo against Southern. Southern playing with tempo, taking it the distance. Washington covering the final 7. And the Tigers trailing for the first time this season. A 1:32 scoring drive, 75 yards in 5 plays. Southern going right at the Memphis defense, which was rightly lauded for their play against Ole Miss, but they really got carved up. A couple of long rushes. Skelton, a 29-yard rush from the quarterback position. Devon Ben also a 29-yard run, and then Washington taking it the rest of the way. That's Gabe Rogers back deep to receive this kick. And a pooch kick that's taken by one of the up men and pushed out at about the 32-yard line. Keith Brown Jr. with the return. As you look at the numbers for Brady White against Ole Miss, did have one interception. He was really upset at himself for that interception, was trying to throw it away, trying to throw it at the feet of the defender, and it was an interception. But talking with Mike Norvell earlier this week, he says Brady White is like having a coordinator on the field. He is that smart, he's that sharp, watches that much film, and processes it really well. And
he loved the growth from last season to this season, changing plays at the line of scrimmage and just having those conversations over on the sideline. He could see that development.
Gainwell gets the call, has a crease. Gainwell across the 40-yard line for a Memphis first down. Kenneth Gainwell, the redshirt freshman, stopped by Montavious Gaines. Patrick Taylor, if you're just joining us, undisclosed lower leg injury, will not play today. Gainwell getting the start, and he got all the touches down the stretch. Play action over the middle. in space, and on his horse is Damade Coxie, and Coxie inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal on his 100th career reception.
And Coxie here running the post route right over the middle. The play fake by White. Perfect pass. Missed assignment by the Southern secondary. Memphis rolling now downhill.
1st and goal inside the 10, intended for Coxie and knocked away at the last moment. Jordan Eastling, the cornerback from Atlanta, Georgia, making the play on that ball. Now, one of the things that we talked about with the Memphis coaches, they felt that the Southern defensive backs would play off. Ole Miss played a lot of press coverage, and so they felt, the Memphis coaches did, that they might be able to take advantage with passes downfield. 2nd down and goal. Gainwell spun around and dropped for a loss back at the 13-yard line. A very swarming defense early. Austin Jones coming up on run support along with Jordan Lewis.
And Pete, back to Coxie. He's got the height advantage, 6'3", those long arms. The secondary for Southern, both cornerbacks, 5'9" and 5'11". So they're going to attack that in the passing game with Coxie today.
3rd down and goal. White from the gun. Quick hitch route, trying to get a block. Caleb Carter making the stop on Gainwell. And Riley Patterson will be on to attempt the field goal, his 21st birthday today. Patterson did not attempt a field goal against Ole Miss, and this is a win for the Southern defense, Jay, because Memphis went right down the field. The big strike to Coxie for 52 yards, but Memphis settling for a field goal try. Patterson 15 of 20 a year ago. 23-yard attempt, and it is good. Both teams scoring on their initial possessions. 7-3 Southern with the lead over Memphis. Well, Dawson Odoms has to be very, very happy with both sides of the football. His defense bending but not breaking after that 52-yard completion from Brady White to Damade Coxie, limiting Memphis to a field goal attempt converted by Riley Patterson. Tigers going 6 plays, 66 yards in 1:55. Devon Ben back to receive the kickoff. But we were talking before the telecast, Jay, what does Southern need to do in this football game? And number one is not turn it over, but they have come out and they've played with force through that first drive.
They really did. Athleticism, you can see, especially on the edges. They competed at a high level in the SWAC. You can see the athletes they have, and with their execution, moving the ball down the field.
Fair catch called for by Brandon Hinton. Chennis Berry, he is the last holdover member from Dawson Odom's original coaching staff, and they go back to North Carolina A&T, long-standing relationship. It has to be very pleased with a run game that was engineered by Ladarius Skelton and Devon Ben, both of them running on 29-yard scampers on the first Southern possession. So following the fair catch, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Southern Jaguars, who have never beaten a FBS team. Skelton on the rollout, heavy pressure, had to throw it away.
Bryce Huff with the pressure, forcing Skelton out of the pocket last week. He was living in the backfield, coming off the edge. This veteran offensive line of Southern, they're going to have to find a way to slow him down, chip him, double team him, whatever it takes to let him not get past the line of scrimmage.
Huff, the American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week, had the clinching safety against Ole Miss, the first safety recorded for a Mike Norvell Memphis team, and a flag before the inception of the play on 2nd down and 10.
False start, number 64, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Jeremiah Abbey, the left guard, leaving early. But you look at Bryce Huff, very talented, getting into the backfield, 19 tackles for loss last year, tied for 12th in all of college football. A senior from Mobile, Alabama. So second down and 15 now from the 20-yard line for Southern. Empty backfield for Skelton. Throws attempted over the middle. That may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. It was deflected by John Tate.
And if you can't get to the quarterback, the next best thing, get your hands up. Tate, an outstanding job reading the eyes of Skelton, getting his hand up, knocking it down. Now third and long situation. Skelton's going to have to protect the football here and be careful.
Tate will get reps on the defensive line. O'Brien Goodson, normally a starter, not playing today due to injury. Third down and 15. Pocket breaking down, and down goes Skelton. Cole Mashburn, a freshman that Adam Fuller really likes, comes up, keeps contained, and makes the tackle to make it fourth down. And Southern will have to punt it away.
You know, and that defensive line, only 4 guys rushing there. Cover 2 defense, playing deep. Mashburn getting in the backfield, but then the relentless hustle to go down, make the tackle. The freshman getting a huge stop, forcing fourth down.
Pop Williams back to receive the punt. And very nearly blocked, and might have gotten a piece of it, and the ball bounding from about the 45-yard line, and a fortuitous Memphis bounce. So Memphis Southern teams, the special teams rather, doing a good job getting a rush up the middle from Cameron Fleming. So the Memphis defense, after being gouged early on the ground, holds its ground, and Southern with a false start penalty putting them behind the chains. And so the Tigers take over at their own 45-yard line. 10:26 remaining here in the first quarter. Punt went just 25 yards. White, the give, and not much there up the middle, and you see, Jay, just how talented and how swarming this Southern defense is, led there by Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis, he's got speed off the edge, and that's the thing about this defense. They're not the biggest, but they have quickness. They read their gap there. Lewis getting in the backfield. There's a lot of movement on the offensive line there, and he just beat the block to get in the backfield.
Gainwell not able to gain. Second down and 10 from the 45. White from the gun. Off play action. Another deep ball. Going for Coxie, unable to reel it in. Again, off play action, Jay. Second time in as many series. Play action going to the post to Coxie. O.J. Tucker back in coverage.
Well, we see this is going to be an early part of the game plan with the play action. Gainwell getting the fake, and then White all day long to throw it. Nice ball, but great job. They're just getting his hand in at the last minute to knock it out.
Memphis 6 for 17 on third downs last week against Ole Miss. Staring at a 3rd and 10 here. Coy Fairman late substituting in, a wide receiver. 5 in the pattern for Brady White. Pocket holds up, got a man wide open. Gibson cutting, breaking tackles, and heading to the end zone. Antonio Gibson, sensational individual effort. 55 yards on the pass, catch, and run, and the Tigers have the lead.
And here's the execution of this Memphis passing attack. Gibson, we'll see him on the left side coming across a little curl route, and then after the catch, look at the moves here, getting away from the defenders, and then just straight speed. This secondary for Southern, they're playing a cover 2, playing in zone. I don't know what they were doing, a couple missed tackles, but there wasn't anybody close to Gibson. Then he caught the ball, and then you could see the athleticism take over.
Gibson, a couple of touchdowns a year ago. And the extra point by Patterson is good. 2 drives, 2 scores for the Tigers, and they have claimed the lead at 10-7. 55 yards. White to Gibson for 6. Antonio Gibson, his first touchdown reception of the year, first touchdown pass for Brady White. A 3-play, 55-yard drive that took all of 48 seconds. There is no question, Jay, that this Memphis team has a ton of offensive weapons. If they get the defense to come along at the same rate as the offense, they're going to be particularly dangerous in the American.
Yeah, and this offense has the firepower, but the defense, that's been the question the past couple of years. And that first game against Ole Miss, you saw how good that defense was. And it's a game of adjustments, but if this defense can play at the same level and really complement each other, this is going to be a complete team with their special teams, how they play in that phase as well, which has been outstanding.
Patterson in and out of the end zone, and so a touchback as Southern will take the field.
I was a little surprised on that last drive by Southern going to the air where they had so much success with the option running the ball. They went 3 straight passes, so I'd expect them to go back to the run where they had that success on the first drive.
Well, Southern returning 16 starters, including their entire offensive line. They call them the J team because all 5 starters have names that begin with J. See if they go back to the run here from their own 25-yard line. Little option and nothing there. Tigers had it totally diagnosed. J.J. Russell from a linebacker position, 5 tackles against Ole Miss, 2 for loss, reads this perfectly, and Skelton had nowhere to go.
Well, as a linebacker, you kind of want to rove, kind of look through till you find that hole open up, and once you see it, attack. And Russell, great tackle flying in the backfield.
Southern behind the chains, loss of a couple. They like to screen on 2nd down and long so that the 3rd down play is a little bit more manageable. See what Skelton does here. Straight drop, swing pass, oh, and a tremendous hit and an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 3rd down. Austin Hall bringing some serious heat to Devon Ben.
We'll see Hall here read it from the moment this ball was snapped, and then the perfect hit. Didn't go towards the head, went towards the body. Outstanding form tackle, knocking that ball loose.
Well, we were talking with defensive coordinator Adam Fuller this week, and he said, play the right technique, eyes up, go through the body, and that's exactly what Hall did.
The new rules are really designed to make the game safer and also make sure that you're using the right technique. And Hall, perfect form tackle, exactly how you draw it up if you're a coach.
Third and long for Skelton. Nobody open downfield. Swings it out to the left, and nothing doing there. Again, the Memphis defense rising up. Londre Thomas on the stop.
And that ball is out on the perimeter. You know, it's a one-on-one tackle situation. Thomas holding up there, allowing the rest of his teammates to flow over, but he wrapped them up there. That's the toughest thing for a defender, is when you're in a one-on-one situation. But 3rd and long, Southern didn't have a lot of areas to go to. Skelton just had to get rid of it.
Trying to get the ball to Cheney. Pop Williams back at his own 38-yard line. Almost a wild snap and nearly another block punt as the Tigers special teams doing a great job, and this takes a tremendous Southern roll to the Memphis 33-yard line. Good bounce for Southern, and Memphis putting the ball back in play. A 45-yard punt, but for the 2nd time in as many attempts. Tremendous pressure from the Memphis special teams.
Yeah, that punt protection unit for Southern, they're having some miscommunication, some issues right in the middle there. Both times coming up the middle, Memphis was able to get pressure.
White, flag thrown, pass complete, but I have a feeling that this one is coming back. Pass complete to Coxie. David Cotton with the tackle.
Holding, number 74, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
Isaac Ellis, the guilty party. So march off the yardage, and first down and 20 for the Tigers. Brady White, redshirt junior. Inside handoff to Kylan Watkins, the redshirt sophomore from Memphis. Picks up a couple. Chase Foster on this stop. They really like Kylan Watkins. I mean, there's an embarrassment of riches really in this Memphis backfield.
And the depth at that position, so many teams are looking for one guy. Memphis has 4 or 5 that they really have a lot of confidence in.
Travion Samuel in motion takes the handoff, but again, Southern strong there defensively, and this is going to bring up third down and about 13 as Samuel is not able to gain.
And back to the running backs, so many of these guys are young players too. You know, Taylor's a senior, so Samuel, the other guys, freshmen and sophomores, so bright future in the backfield.
Third and 13 for Brady White, and an empty backfield for the Memphis Tigers. White feeling some pressure. White will tuck it, won't get the first down, out at about the 37-yard line. O.J. Tucker forcing him out of bounds, and it will force the first Memphis punt of the afternoon. Adam Williams, who had a very, very good game against Ole Miss, including a crucial punt that was down inside the 5, which set up the Bryce Huff safety to clinch the game.
For Brady White, very wise there to get out of the pocket, nothing open downfield, get what you can. He couldn't get the first, but he didn't force anything on that last play.
Brandon Hinton back to receive the punt. And he will let it bounce inside the 20, inside the 15, and inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. Well, Adam Williams originally committed to the University of Tennessee. Tennessee then found themselves another punter, 54 yards on that kick. And all of a sudden he said, you know what? I think maybe I need to go somewhere else. And has found himself a nice home here in Memphis. Big leg, but also the ability to knock it dead inside the 20, and they're inside the 10-yard line. That'll be first and 10 for Southern from their own 8-yard line. These two teams have already combined for over 200 yards of offense. Skelton keeps, flag down, breaks one tackle, but not that last tackle, as he is taken down by Morris Joseph. Joseph out of Orange, Texas.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield at the snap. Half the distance to the goal line. Repeat first down.
Going to see a lot of different Tigers getting reps on the defensive line without O'Brien Goodson, as you look at Dawson Odoms. And last week it was turnovers, and this week so far it's been penalties for Southern after getting an early 7-0 lead. First and 15. Inside handoff, squirting through is Craig Nelson. Picks up a handful. Stopped by Xavier Cullins. Craig Nelson, a redshirt sophomore from Miami. He lost one of those 5 lost fumbles for Southern last Saturday.
Southern attacking the middle of that defense where Goodson is out, running the ball right up the middle.
Four wide for Skelton. Man in motion. Over the middle. Easy pitch and catch. Out to about the 25-yard line. TJ Bedford on the reception and a first down for Southern.
Southern has some tall wide receivers out on the outside. Bedford 6'3", and with the window dressing pre-snap, with the motion, the movements, guys going towards the left, and it was just Bedford on the post route. No one covering him for a nice catch, picking up the first down. Bedford
3 receptions for 55 yards last week. That one good for 14 and a first down. We're seeing a fairly steady dose of option from Southern here, in the belly handoff gets a couple of yards. Xavier Cullins again making the stop of the ball carrier.
Skelton, he takes a lot of hits. He's 6'2", 210, but he's a tough guy, and it seems like he's getting hit on every play, whether he's handing the ball off or keeping it.
Now that was Craig Nelson again. Remember, Devon Ben got his bell rung on a hard hit by Austin Hall. He has not returned to the game. Skelton fakes the pitch, knocked down at about the 36-yard line by Tim Hart. Short of the first down, he needs the 36-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
We'll see here. Southern getting out to the edge, breaking contain, and that's what Memphis has to do. Huff there on the outside. He's got to try to force that ball back inside.
Against McNeese, Southern 3 of 10 on 3rd down. Crowd making noise. Skelton. And the plunge into the line and a Southern 1st down. Again, it's Craig Nelson, so he has taken over as the lead back. Ben remaining out of the game. Jonathan Wilson on the stop for the Tigers with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter and a 10-7 Memphis lead.
And I like how Southern here going back to their bread and butter, the running game, slowing this game down, trying to control it up front with all their experience on the line of scrimmage with their 5 offensive linemen.
97 rushing yards for Southern already. Skelton with the handoff. And on the right side run, Christopher Chaney. Chaney getting his first call of the day. Sanchez Blake coming up from the safety spot to make the tackle. 2nd down and 8. Southern going with tempo, no huddle here. As you look at their big offensive line, their tackles are enormous. Carter at 275, Harris at 315, and both of them 6'5" or better. Inside again, Chaney carrying to the 45-yard line, and again Blake on the tackle.
And they're also trying to load it up with tight ends, a 2 tight end set there. Both tight ends very big with Houston, Tucker, and also they're going to play Jadarian Davis as well. So trying to pound the rock. A big 3rd down coming up for this Memphis defense.
Make it 3rd down and 3. Skelton, pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Memphis gets the stop. Bryce Huff in there along with Tim Hart as they combine to take down Ladarius Skelton and force a 4th down.
We'll see coming right up here, up the middle, a blitz coming. 5 guys, Adam Fuller bringing the heat. And then the sack. Skelton had nowhere to go. It's so tough for a quarterback when you see that pressure coming straight at your face. He couldn't elude it, get to the side. The pocket collapsed. Memphis, a good job now getting off the field on 3rd down.
Bobbled snap, and this punt is blocked. Picked up and headed back the other way for a Memphis touchdown. Keith Brown Jr. with the pressure. The block credited to Rodriguez Clark. They love him as a running back. I think right now they love him as a special teams player. And picking up the block punt, Keith Brown Jr., and the Tigers extend the lead to 16-7.
3rd time in a row, Memphis has gotten pressure right up the middle. And Clark, the freshman, coming up with a huge play. We'll see here, Cochran going towards the left, kind of clearing things out. And Clark right up the gut, unblocked. Southern's having issues, but Memphis stepping up again in the special teams area. We've seen it so many times in the return game, but blocking that punt for a touchdown.
For the first time since 2012 when Tevin Jones did it, the Tigers return a block punt for a touchdown. Brown for 6, and now a 10-point Memphis lead. Keith Brown Jr., the man of the moment, returning the block punt. 27 yards officially on the return, and the Tigers a 17-7 lead over Southern. 24 points, and we only have 30 seconds left in the first quarter. If you like a little offense and you like a little excitement, you've certainly come to the right place. Brandon Hinton is back deep to receive the kick. Patterson will vary. He might pooch it like this. He may try to blast it out of the end zone, but a fair catch is called for there on the far side by Cameron Mackey, wide receiver, and so it'll be first down and 10 for Southern. Well, this is what Mike Norvell liked last week. Everybody contributed. Offense scored their points. Defense made the stop. And then we talked about the punting already and the difference that it made in flipping the field in a close game. And we're seeing contributions really now from all three phases. So Mike Norvell has to be happy, with the exception of the first Southern drive.
Yeah, other than that, they really rebounded well. And the depth that you can see, offense, defense, and special teams, guys stepping up. And like you said, really complementing each other well.
Keeper by Skelton. Breaks contained, gets to the edge, gets a first down, chased out by T.J. Carter.
With Skelton today, a lot of the pressure is going to be on the secondary to tackle, but again, to get off blocks. Those one-on-one stock blocks on the outside is going to be so important for those DBs to use their hands, shield and throw, and then find the ball.
Skelton carries for a dozen, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. Dawson Odoms is 0-10 against FBS teams. He'd like to change that this afternoon, but the Tigers have posted 17 points unanswered, and they lead it by 10 after 15 minutes at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis. 17-7, Memphis over Southern. Memphis fans being creative with their signage. The Jaguars raced out to a 7-0 lead, but 17 unanswered by the Memphis Tigers. We talked about the issues that Southern and really most FCS teams have playing FBS teams. They have really struggled. They've 0-14 all time, and on average, they're outscored 52-13. Keeper by Skelton gets to the 39-yard line, and Sanchez Blake is having himself a game with yet another stop. Great run support. That'll bring up second down and make it 7.
Well, the secondary, really, when they see the ball as a run, they're being assertive, being aggressive, going up and filling the hole and not allowing Skelton to get free.
Skelton, who played his high school football with John Tate, currently on the defensive line for the Tigers. Off play action, plenty of time. Pump fake, reloads, and then swings it outside. Flag on the play. Pass complete to Jamar Washington, who had the Jaguars touchdown back in the first quarter, but this one may be coming back. He was stopped at the 47-yard line, right near the first down marker, but we'll wait and see what the call is.
Illegal touching by an ineligible receiver, number 6 on the offense. He was covered up, went downfield and called the pass. 5-yard penalty, replace second down.
Not a call that you see every day, but a 5-yard penalty, wiping out what may have been a Southern first down. That'll make it second down and 13 from the 34-yard line for Dawson Odoms.
Third penalty now, and really hurting themselves, shooting themselves in the foot and putting them in third and long situations. I'll tell you what, though, Skelton on that last play, he was looking to go deep. The secondary outstanding in coverage, then he had to kind of dump it off. This offense, they'll look to throw the ball vertically.
Skelton does like to throw the ball downfield. They're not able to do it on that last down. Feels pressure, steps up, creating with his legs across the 40, 45, and very close to a Southern first down. It will be a Southern first down. They marked him out at the 50-yard line. Tim Hart forcing him out of bounds. Skelton with 49 yards on the ground before that carry. Southern continues to move the chains. That their 7th first down of the game. Skelton, a 16-yard scamper. And the ball at the 50-yard line.
He got away from the blitz. Good recognition. Seeing J.J. Russell coming up the middle and then kind of moving his feet towards the left, getting out, picking up a big running play.
Inside handoff, Darby on Profit. Redshirt junior out of Baton Rouge with the carry, working the left side. So we have not seen Devon Ben since he took that hard hit from Austin Hall. There's been no injury report on him. Jalen Smith getting some reps on the defensive line, was in on the play as Profit goes to the sideline. Pickup of about 2, make it 2nd down and 8.
The thing I like there for the Tigers defense, there's a couple guys coming over for the tackle. They're swarming to the football, running in packs and really hustling to bring them down.
Nelson is the lone setback on this 2nd down play. Motion handoff, keeper actually, and carrying down to about the 42-yard line is Skelton. J.J. Russell making the tackle. And Skelton having himself a much better day, particularly with ball security. He was replaced in the 3rd quarter of the game against McNeese after coughing it up. But he's been ball secure and he's been dangerous with his legs, and now a 3rd down opportunity here. 3rd down and 1 for Southern, trailing by 10. And a good surge by that Southern offensive line, a veteran offensive line, all 5 starters returning from last year. And Nelson carries for the first down, and Southern again continues to move the chains. They have outgained Memphis.
They ran it right there up the middle. Right guard Jonathan Bishop. He's the most physical offensive lineman. They're running right behind him, trusting him to get some push up front.
You saw the rushing numbers. It has been heavily in favor of Southern. Option pitch. Left side. Cameron Mackey with the carry. Thomas with the tackle for Memphis.
And this was a good play design, getting the ball to the outside. Memphis bringing the blitz. Adam Fuller on first down, bringing guys in, getting in the backfield, but they just got it outside to the edge, picking up positive yards on first down. That's going to be key for Southern, is to get in these second and manageable situations. You know, this isn't a drop back team that wants to throw the ball over the yard. They want to dink and dunk, do these running plays, and then take vertical shots down the field.
Christopher Chaney back in at tailback. And up the middle, Christopher Chaney, Sanchez Blake, the stop, but not until a Southern first down at the 25-yard line. And this is a really good drive, I think, for offensive coordinator Chennis Berry. They got away from the run that they established on the first drive of this game. They've gone back to it, and it has been successful.
You're going to 2 tight end sets. Jeremiah Houston, the tight end, getting leverage up front with his drive block. Jadarian Davis also doing a nice job out on the edge.
Handoff again to Chaney. Chaney trying to pick his way, swallowed up by a wave of blue shirts, did not gain on the play. Morris Joseph, 6'2", 275. And you get a good look at Cole Mashburn. Those are a couple of young guys that they really, really like.
And there's so much freshman, sophomore talent on this roster, but Mashburn, one of the guys the coaches really highlighted, the future that he has, getting experience now in the plays we've already seen him make today.
Skelton, 9 carries for 72 yards. 2nd down and 10. Off play action, able to step up into the end zone, knocked away by Jacoby Francis. Jacoby Francis with the knockaway, trying to get it to TJ Bedford in the end zone.
This is exactly how you coach it up. Francis in coverage, plenty of time for Skelton to throw, and then running right in front at the last minute with his offhand, knocking this ball loose. And this was a pretty good throw. It was just Francis with his left arm jumping in front, keeping his right arm off the edge of Bedford and knocking the ball loose.
Francis credited with 2 passes broken up against Ole Miss, gets one there. 3rd down and 10. Skelton wants to go long, backside pressure, trying to reset his feet, throws near side, and that will be a Southern first down. The completion to Hunter Register. He and Bedford, a tall receiving tandem, and a first down.
Well, for Skelton here, we'll see him get pressure. Huff coming through there. But for him, it looked like he may have gone on and run it, but he stayed up, kept his eyes upfield, threw the ball for the first down.
So Southern with a threat. Handoff to the right. Mackey stumbling. Quindell Johnson making sure he doesn't go any further as we approach 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Memphis a 17-7 advantage over the Southern Jaguars.
And Pete, this defense bending a little bit here on this drive, but it's all about now red zone defense. Can you keep the offense out of the end zone, try to force a field goal here? This defense, in a 2nd and 10 situation, I think the Tigers are going to put some heat in the backfield.
Southern was 2 of 3 in the red zone against McNeese. Both of the scores were touchdowns. 2nd and 10 from the 13. And a slip on the AstroTurf for Cheney. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
And they loaded the box. 8 Tigers in the box there waiting for the running play with the slip, not able to get going, but the Tigers are ready.
Southern has already converted 2 3rd downs on this drive.
Look for something over the middle here. Southern's had success on the post routes as far as running the ball and having an opening.
4 wides, 1 setback. They need the 3-yard line. Skelton feels pressure, more pressure from the backside, throws complete to Bedford, but Bedford will not get the first down, dropped at the 7-yard line by TJ Carter. And a flag down.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 23. Defense. Half the distance to the goal line. Near the run. Automatic first down.
One of the things that Mike Norvell told us, avoid the self-imposed adversity. And so now 1st and goal for Southern.
As a player, that's something you don't want to give up. Easy yards, especially when it's your fault. It's not something the other team does to you. Already 3 penalties on the day.
J.J. Russell with the infraction. 1st and goal from the 3. And now all kinds of confusion by Southern, but it's Memphis calling the timeout.
First timeout. Memphis.
Chennis Berry and Southern deep in Memphis territory. Well, the plan for Mike Norvell and Memphis Tigers today, Jay, was to play a tempo offensively, get into the legs of a Southern team that doesn't have as much depth, but Memphis has scored so quickly that the time of possession has favored Southern by a wide margin.
They've really controlled the clock, held on to the ball, and kept this Memphis offense off the field.
1st and goal, nothing doing there. Austin Hall denying Ladarius Skelton.
See Hall come up here. Great recognition, seeing where Skelton's going. Look at the form towel, keeping your legs running. Great job getting a big stop, especially on first down.
Loss of 2 back to the 5-yard line. And Devon Ben is back on the field for Southern. Off the play fake, trying to cut up the middle. Skelton inside the 5 to about the 4. Again, Hall with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and goal from inside the 5.
Big credit to the Tigers pass rush there. The tight end Jeremiah Houston ran a little looky route, small little post right over the middle. He was wide open, but Skelton had to bring his eyes down. He couldn't see him because he had to elude the pass rush.
Southern's come up big on 3rd downs on this drive. Ben, the tailback. Man in motion is Hunter Register. Play fake, end zone, easy touchdown. It's Jeremiah Houston, the tight end. Preseason 2nd team all SWAC pick, reels it in, and it is now 17-13. Second touchdown drive for Southern today.
And over on the left side, just a little corner route by Houston, wide open. Now Skelton had pressure coming at his legs, kind of leaned on his back foot and threw it up, and Houston, 6'6", corner of the end zone, uncovered, easy touchdown.
And Fontenot tacks on the extra point, and the Memphis lead has been trimmed to 4. A 10-minute drive by Southern, aided by a crucial Memphis penalty. 17-14 the count. Yeah, they'd like Memphis to move the chains. They've just scored on big plays, a block punt and a 55-yard touchdown reception. To give you some context, what Southern has done offensively, last week Memphis held Ole Miss to 80 yards rushing. Southern 149, and we still have a little more than 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Last drive by the Jaguars, chewing up 10 minutes and another short kickoff. And a good return by Keith Brown Jr., the linebacker who scored off the block punt. So he's had himself a nice afternoon on special teams, and good field position for Memphis at the 40-yard line.
It's so tough if you're an offensive player for the Tigers. You've been sitting over on the sideline forever, so you got to come in here with some fire. You got a 3-point lead. You need to come in here and execute at a high level. But I'll tell you what, Southern, 5 turnovers last week. None so far today. They're holding on to the football and correcting those mistakes.
Yeah, they've been very, very disciplined. White on first down. And all this offensive run ability from Southern has kept Kenneth Gainwell off the field. Calvin Lunkins making the stop. Gainwell, nominal gain there. It'll be 2nd down and long. Memphis going to play at tempo, but they're going to want to keep the sticks moving. White from the gun. And Gainwell goes down, and for a loss, Jordan Lewis. And Lunkins there, and now Southern starting to feel awfully good about their prospects here, down just 3.
And Lewis, 6'3", only listed as 195 pounds. So you think you'd be able to push him around in the run game. He uses his quickness, his technique to get leverage, get underneath the pad level, and get in the backfield.
Sophomore from Florida had 7 tackles against McNeese. Brady White and Memphis just 1 of 3 on 3rd down. 4 wide for White on 3rd down. Pocket remains clean. Downfield leaping grab. Coxie for the 1st down into Southern territory at the 46-yard line. And Coxie now slow to get up. Elijah Small with the tackle, and Coxie leaping and coming down in discomfort. Devontae Coxie receiving attention from the Tigers athletic training staff, and see how it happened. Crossing route over the middle, has to leap for it, and he put his right arm down to brace his fall. Not sure if that is the issue or not.
Tell you what, though, when you go across the middle, you know you're going to face contact. Coxie's such a tough player coming up with a big play.
Gainwell into space, inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown Tigers. "46 yards for Kenneth Gainwell."
Gainwell showing off how explosive he can be. Look at him just kind of read, relax here, wait for the hole to develop, and then boom, hitting it, getting to the outside. No one's going to catch him. I've been so impressed with his ability so far in this game. Played from the running back position, also split out to wide receiver. So much pressure on him to know this offense, but they are getting the ball in the backfield. Quick strike offense when you got a talented running back like Gainwell.
A 60-yard drive that took just 91 seconds. So Memphis continuing to play with tempo. They now extend their lead, 24-14. Gainwell for 46 and 6. Well, Mike Norvell's team with a quick strike response to the 10-minute drive by Southern. They responded 91 seconds. Kenny Gainwell going 46 yards for his first touchdown of this season and second career touchdown. And he got the start today because Patrick Taylor is out with an undisclosed lower leg injury, and friends in that running back room.
Yeah, you're with these guys so much. You develop friendships, and you play the same position. And it's great to see the teammate aspect down there, congratulating each other. You know Taylor wants to be out there. He's a senior NFL draft prospect, a young freshman, and getting some of those carries today, stepping up in a big way. 8.6 yards per carry so far on the day.
Brandon Hinton back at the goal line watches the Patterson boot go over his head out of the back of the end zone. Now, if you're Memphis, if you're the Memphis defenders more specifically, Jason Halter,
yep.
You're really happy for Kenneth Gainwell, 46-yard touchdown run. But you got to go back on the field after you got about a 2-minute rest.
You didn't have time to even get Gatorade over there. You've got to come back out there. You've been out in the field, Pete, if you're a defender. 19 minutes and 44 seconds of game action. This offense has only had the ball for 6.5 minutes. So you're probably a little bit tired. So you're excited you have a lead, but you've got to kind of suck it up here. You're almost going into the halftime break. You need a stop. If you can get a quick 3 and out, you're going to give your offense an opportunity to get the ball back, potentially with 2 timeouts, some time on the clock before the half.
Southern has all 3 of their timeouts on the option. Skelton keeps the initial hit by Sanchez Blake. Pickup of a couple to bring up second down. Well, I think because Devon Ben took that hard hit early from Austin Hall, came out of the game for about 3 series or so, Skelton has taken on the lion's share of running the football. Ladarius Skelton, the starting quarterback for Southern, is their leading rusher. He has 74 rushing yards. The Tigers as a team have 67. But the only numbers that matter, 24-14. Handoff, Ben, stoned, still trying to drag tacklers, but going into the teeth of that Tigers defense, Ben picked up a couple. And Sanchez Blake along with Joseph Dorcius.
And for Skelton, as good as he's been running the football, the thing I'm most impressed with is last week 2 fumbles, so far today 0. He's protecting the football, making right decisions, distributing the ball in the offense. That's why he's still in the game. He had that pressure from getting pulled last week. He's excelling so far.
Timeout taken here with 2:55 remaining, and Southern staring at a 3rd down and 3. Southern has converted their last 3 third downs, and that is what propelled them to that 10-minute drive that got them within 17-14.
For me here on 3rd down, your best defender, Bryce Huff. This is Huff time. He's got to step up big, get pressure. And if I'm Southern, I'm probably going to run the ball here. But Huff, let's get pressure off the edge on the bottom of the screen. Now flipping over to the left side, number 55.
Ben, the lone setback out of the gun. Skelton falling down but gets the reception. It's Cameron Mackey for the first down to the 45-yard line. TJ Carter on the stop, but Skelton losing his footing, still maintaining enough balance to get the ball to Cameron Mackey for the first down.
The blitz came too. He did it with a defender coming in his face. Able to hang in there long enough to get rid of the ball.
That last time out was taken by Memphis, hoping to force the third down stop, but Southern has converted now 4 straight third down situations. And the Jaguars with all 3 timeouts. Skelton, Ben off the right side, picks up a couple. Dorcius in on the stop along with Thomas Pickens.
Well, and the defense here, they have to be careful. We're creeping here towards 2 minutes left on the clock. They're playing cover 2 defense on that last play. We'll see if they stay there. But this is a Southern team. We see them run the ball, and then boom, take a shot over the top, especially as we get close to the half. You figure here at some point they're going to try to hit Bedford on the post route.
And Skelton loves play action passing. You won't see a lot of dropbacks from Southern, but you will see a lot of play action. Clock has moved down to 1:45. Second down and long. Skelton surveys. Deep ball and caught at the 17-yard line by Hunter Register, stretching out that 6'5" frame. It wasn't a post route, it was an out route, but it was a ball downfield, a 38-yard hookup. And Southern in business with all 3 timeouts, 1:32 remaining. Off play action, swinging it out to the right side, and that time Register took his eye off the ball as he was about to get racked for about a 3-yard loss. It'll be second down and 10. Clock stopped at 1:23.
When Skelton there on the previous play looked towards the right, was looking towards Bedford, then came back towards the left. Accurate throw. And again here, red zone defense for Memphis, standing strong. They've got to get some pressure on Skelton and bring him to the ground.
Then the setback, double tight ends to the right. Play action, Skelton, corner route, end zone, and too far. That would have been out of bounds even if the reception had been made, but there is a flag on the play. Trying to get it to TJ Bedford. Appears to be against Southern.
Ineligible receiver downfield and ready to offense. The penalty is declined. Be third down.
Memphis brought pressure the previous play. Third down coming up. See if they do it again.
They're 4 for their last 4 after going just 3 of 10 on third downs a week ago against McNeese. 1:18 remaining. Again, Southern all 3 timeouts. Empty backfield for Skelton. And on this crucial play call, he'll call for timeout.
Timeout, Southern. They're first. 30 seconds and link.
To give you some context about Southern's history against FBS schools, the closest they have been against an FBS team was 38-21, a loss to Louisiana Monroe in 2016. The last time the Tigers faced an FCS team here in Memphis, they beat Southern Illinois 44-31. So even though you're talking FCS and FBS, it's been a very compelling football game, and Dawson Odoms has to be thrilled with the way his team has responded after essentially giving the game away against McNeese. Their defense gave them a chance to rally, couldn't quite get over the hump.
And they had a late fourth quarter comeback, too little too late last week, but with all those mistakes, you know that's what they harped on in practice this week, is protecting the football. They felt like they gave that game away. For them here today, the way they're moving the ball on the ground, protecting the football, they're very happy with where they're at so far, with the chance going into the half here to try to get another score.
They need it to the 7-yard line. 5 receivers in the pattern. Skelton hearing it from the crowd. Blitz coming. Backside pressure. Skelton dropped at the 17-yard line. Had nowhere to go. Multiple defenders had a crack at him. J.J. Russell, prime among them.
Timeout. Memphis. Their third. 30 seconds in lead.
Tigers call their final timeout. Cesar Baraja will be on to attempt, apparently, a field goal here on 4th down with 1:11 remaining.
That pressure is what forced Skelton out of the pocket. Bryce Huff didn't make the tackle, but he's the one that came free. We've been calling his name a lot today. He's had kind of been living in the backfield, causing so many problems for this veteran offensive line. But then the rest of the Tigers defense just flowed over. They've been an athletic defense so far in these first 2 games. A good job tackling, bringing him down.
Beg your pardon, it'll be Fontenot. Fontenot from 34 yards away. And he converts to make the new score 24-17. Fontenot, who was 0 for 1 against McNeese, missing a 32-yarder, converts there. Tigers out of timeouts, 67 seconds remaining, but then again, their last touchdown drive was 91 seconds. So
I don't know if they need timeouts when they're on offense the way they're scoring. This is plenty of time. But that was a great use of stopping the clock by Coach Norvell, giving his offense an opportunity here, still with 1:07 left, but plenty of time to execute a drive.
One of the things that the players like most about Mike Norvell on the practice field, he can be very animated, a lot of juice.
Yeah.
Game day, that's Mike Norvell.
He's cool.
He's cool. And if you're a player, you want to be coached up during the week, but you don't want your coach on the sideline just going crazy.
And when you're out on the field, when you're in the huddle, you want to see confidence. You want to see, levelness from your coaches. And Coach Norvell, one of the many reasons why he's been so successful, he knows what his players needs. He knows how to coach. He knows the temperament and the buttons to push for his team.
Antonio Gibson is back deep along with Taj Washington. And again, a short kick. And wisely, Gibson lets it go out of bounds. So on the kick out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball replaced at the 35-yard line. First down.
65 yards, 67 seconds.
When you're in a 2-minute offense, so many times you've got to take guys off the field that maybe don't fit in that mold. But for Memphis, you've got Kenneth Gainwell, you're, one of your best offensive players. You can keep him at the running back position, or you can split him out wide. So you don't really have to change up the formations or your looks because they've got so much flexibility with this offense.
Gainwell, a 46-yard touchdown run. Last time out. White, timing route, caught, 39-yard line. Caught by Sean Dykes, the backup tight end, behind Joey Magnifico. 13 receptions a year ago.
Coxie back in the ball game, so good to see him back, and I'd expect him to be targeted on this drive.
Pickup of 4. Dykes got out of bounds. White looking, now steps up, throws back across the middle. In space, Gainwell slides down inside Southern territory. Jacoby Papillon with the stop, but again the clock will stop momentarily while the sticks reset. 55 seconds remaining in the first half.
Brady White efficient, 5 for 7 on the day. You never want to throw it across your body back towards the middle of the field, but he saw he had an angle, an open area to pick up the first down with the throw.
White, clean pocket, out route. Coxie with the catch. First down, Tigers.
It's an NFL route, the deep out. Great job high pointing the football, very smooth. Coxie You've got the size, you've got the catching radius, the hand-eye coordination, the route running. He's got it all.
Now remember, Memphis won the toss, deferred. They'll have it first to start the second half, and on the edge of Riley Patterson's range with a field goal. 39 seconds left. White bobbles the snap. Goes sideline to Magnifico, caught, but a small gain for the redshirt senior tight end from Cordova, Tennessee. And White has been money on this drive, 4 for 4 so far. Ball placed inside the 30-yard line, so well within Patterson's range. He as long as 52 for his career. Second down for White. Feeling pressure. Got it to Gainwell. And Gainwell cut down at the 31-yard line. So that'll bring up third down. Loss on the play. 20 seconds now on third down. Can't clock it. Got to get something going quickly here. Memphis out of timeouts. White, end zone, leaping, incomplete with 6 seconds left. Trying to get it to Antonio Gibson. So Riley Patterson will come on to attempt the field goal. This will be a 49-yard attempt for Riley Patterson. 15 of 20 a year ago, 5 of 8 from 40 plus and a long of 52. Right down Beale Street for Riley Patterson with 2 seconds remaining, and Memphis with the response matching the field goal by Fontenot with one by Riley Patterson from 49, and the lead back to 10 for the Tigers.
Big kick right there, getting some momentum going into the half. And for kickers, you know, there's different pressure situations, but going into the half, really needing some points there to get some confidence. Patterson coming through, but how about that 2-minute drive, the execution? Now, they didn't get the touchdown they were looking for, but White protected the football, made the right decisions, and then they executed to get 3.
Brady White has had himself a nice afternoon, 9 of 12 for 163 yards and a touchdown, and I thought managed that drive very, very well. Didn't get the downfield ball that he wanted in the end zone, intended for Antonio Gibson, but they do get 3 out of it, and they will get the second half kickoff.
You can tell he's playing with a lot of confidence, and I can see it just because he's reading the field. He's getting out of the pocket when he needs to. He's standing strong in there when pressure's coming when he has to, and he's been very accurate throwing the football.
Devon Ben back to receive the kick from Riley Patterson, but good chance he doesn't see the ball. Well, he'll see it go over his head. So 2 seconds remaining. And Jay, a number of storylines here. Memphis's offense, quick strike, dynamic. Special teams has been good with a block punt return for a touchdown. Defense has had their moments, but really Southern has been able to keep matriculating the ball down the field, particularly on the ground. 158 rushing yards against a Memphis defense that limited Ole Miss to 80 last week.
And they've held on the ball, and I know, you know, the time of possession isn't going to win a ball game for you. It's not going to give you any extra credit, but it is keeping this Memphis offense off the field, even though they have 27 points. You know, some of those are on special teams. They haven't allowed those guys to get into a rhythm, really, and this running attack has given them confidence, you know, as they started getting into a groove.
No turnovers for Dawson Odoms. They had 5 fumbles a week ago, and they are playing Memphis very, very well. They got the first touchdown of the game. Memphis ran off 17 unanswered. 27-17 is the halftime count. When we come back, we'll hear from the interim athletic director, Allie Prescott. He'll update you on everything Tiger athletics related. The University Jaguars Jaguars down 10, trying to win their first game ever against an FBS opponent. Both these teams, Jay Sonhalter, we talked about it at the top of the telecast, both of them are predicted to win their divisions. You get a look at the preseason polls. First for the American Athletic Conference. Memphis tops in the West. UCF tops in the East. Who among the dark horses? Because I think, Central Florida and Memphis obviously the favorites. But who is there who could upset the apple cart?
Well, I think a couple teams to look at are really the teams ranked second in both sides. Cincinnati with Luke Fickell, they're coming on. He took that program over, had some trouble, and then they've really catapulted themselves into the conversation in Houston. They always have a dangerous offense. Dana Holgerson is there as well. But I think the difference for UCF and Memphis is the defense. All three phases, they're very talented. I'd expect both of those teams to be in the championship game down the road. But there are some formidable contenders, looking to make a move.
Yeah, UCF and Memphis well acquainted, and Memphis has suffered no end of heartbreak at the hands of UCF. Meanwhile, in the SWAC, it's basically the same two teams that you typically find up there, Alcorn State and Southern. Southern, you just have to be very impressed with the way that they have played and the way that they have responded on a big stage this afternoon.
Yeah, and the mistakes they made last week aren't showing up today. And you can see it's very evident they have talent, especially the skill positions on offense, well coached. I'm surprised, though, with their special teams errors, because 3 punts in a row, one got blocked, but all three pressure up the middle. But, if they clean that up, everything else has been looking pretty good today. And they're a team, again, I'd expect them to be in the championship game.
Jackson State, interestingly enough, will be playing Tennessee State here in the Southern Heritage Classic next Saturday, while the Memphis Tigers are on the road. Halftime at the Liberty Bowl, and the Memphis Tigers a 10-point lead in their first ever meeting with the Southern Jaguars. We're back with more from Memphis in a moment. Brady White and the Memphis Tigers, a 27-17 lead over the Southern Jaguars. And we looked at the American preseason ballots, and Memphis is going to have a very tough road when you have to figure back-to-back weekends at Houston and then at USF late in the season, and then wrapping up against Cincinnati at home.
That is a tough schedule to close things out, especially when you're worn out and tired and the weather's getting a little bit cooler. That's about one team we're showing the conference teams that could throw, a curveball there. One team I look at is Navy. With their offense, the discipline they play with, some years they're outstanding, some years they're pretty good, but they're always the team that you worry about when you're facing the triple option.
Yeah, Navy has been that curveball for so many teams throughout the years with that triple option attack, and they've been good down year last year, but never count the middies out of any football game. And you see it'll be South Alabama next on the docket for the Tigers. That'll be next Saturday on ESPNU, and they'll head on the road for the first time this season. South Alabama visited Memphis last year, and the Tigers getting the win, but that was also a high-scoring game where South Alabama definitely threw a scare into the Tigers before the Tigers ultimately prevailed. And, I would imagine that right now Southern has gotten the Memphis Tigers defense full attention, particularly Ladarius Skelton. And it was funny, we were talking with the coaching staff earlier this week, and the fact that Glendon McDaniel had been into the ball game in the second half for Southern, and Adam Fuller says, you know what, I think Skelton's going to play the entire game.
Yeah, he called it right. And Skelton, whenever you get pulled, Pete, puts pressure on you, and you don't want to give up your position. You don't want to get off the field, and kind of when you have that threat of losing your spot or coming out, it makes you correct some mistakes. And boy, he's played so good today. He's protected the football but the decisions he's made in the throwing game and the throws he's made, he's been accurate when he's had pressure in his face. So he's done a good job leading this offense.
Tigers wanted to play with tempo, but they have scored in such incredibly short order. Look at what Brady White has done, and I think he's done a brilliant job of managing the game, taking what the Southern defense has given him. And, you know, Gainwell getting the start today because of the injury to Patrick Taylor. That sensational open field run, getting himself his first career rushing touchdown and second overall touchdown for the Tigers.
Yeah, he's had 3 catches on the day, 6 rushing attempts, so 9 right now. I'd expect when this game kind of slows down in the second half and kind of the time of possession probably comes back into Memphis's favor, and you know, they hold on the ball longer. I think he's going to end up with over 20 touches in between catching the ball and running the ball.
Brady White, we talked about his ability to manage the game, studies a ton of film, super smart, super sharp. Brother at Princeton, got his master's already. He's working on his PhD.
He's one of those guys that does it on the football field, but that does it right in the classroom. And when you're working on that level of degrees, then you're one of the smartest, not only on the football team, but in the school.
So Memphis deferred, and so they will get the second half kickoff. Southern got the scoring started. Memphis ran off 17 unanswered. It's Taj Washington, number 18, was back to receive the kick. And Antonio Gibson, a touchdown already today on the pass from Brady White. And again, a short kick and taken on the run. Gibson dropped at the 36-yard line. So how do you play this if you're the Memphis offensive coordinator? Kevin Johns, his first year here in Memphis, because you've been able to score, I don't want to say with ease, but you've been able to score via the big play. We have to factor the block punt in there as well, but you've been able to score with relative ease, but you've got to protect your defense by possessing the football. It's
like almost you make the decision, do you want to be explosive or do you want to hold on to the ball and at least give your defense a break? And you know, you never want to say, hey guys, let's pull it back a little bit, but I do think there needs to be at least a variation, and maybe not on this drive, but once we get in, to hold on to the ball, to give that defense a break. But I think with this offense, you know, I think you want to get the ball in your playmakers' hands in the position, you know, where they can make things happen after the catch. They did there. 9-yard pickup to Pop Williams. Coxie still on his feet, looking for a block, still looking for a block, and eventually the Jaguar defense catches up to him, and Memphis does not get the first down. They just needed a yard, and for all the dancing by Coxie, Caleb Carter holds him short of the line to gain. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Memphis 2 of 5 on 3rd downs in the first half. 2 tight ends to the right side. We'll see if they go power run to the right. Man in motion. They go power up the middle, and they do get the first down. Carry by Gainwell, tackle by Joe Davis. Joe Davis, number 42, out of New Orleans, Louisiana, for the Jaguars, considered their best pass rusher. And Scotty Dill, the starting right tackle for Memphis, slow to get up. The Memphis offensive line in the Ole Miss game, some bumps and bruises. And looking at the left lower leg of Scotty Dill, redshirt senior out of Eads, Tennessee. Around Silverfield, the run game coordinators had to do some shuffling with guys up front. Mike Norvell out there to check on Dill. Matt Dale would be his backup, junior from Raymond, Mississippi.
When we talk about the size of the tackles for Southern, you've got Urbina Easy at 6'8" on one side and Dill at 6'7" on the other. Those are some monstrous human beings.
These are big guys, but they're athletic too, and that's something, you know, as an offensive lineman, you want to have the height and the strength, but also the athleticism to get downfield and block and to move your feet. And these tackles, they have an extremely high level of talent with their athleticism.
They did give him a first down. So first down and 10. Brady White, play action, crossing route. Coach C dragged down at the 35-yard line. And this is the type of drive, I think, that Mike Norvell and Kevin Johns, the offensive coordinator, want. We can take our shots, but we can dink and dunk, throw the out route, throw the short crossing route, and just move the ball and possess it and keep that clock running.
Just executing at a high level and break down this defense. Again, Coxie taking over in the middle of the field.
And spun down immediately by Brad Porter. Gainwell loses 2 on the play to make it second down and 12.
Second and long, a good situation here for a possible screen. Gainwell in the backfield.
Magnifico, the tight end, flexed off on the right side.
White, you're changing the play call, seeing a blitz is coming, changing at the line of scrimmage.
Gainwell into the gap about the 33-yard line. Calvin Lunkins, the starting middle linebacker, redshirt senior out of New Orleans, with the tackle. Dean's list all 4 years. He wears number 1 because he has the top GPA on the Jaguars football team. Third down and 10. Handoff. Initial hole for Gainwell, but Lunkins closes it up again, and so it will be an opportunity. Well, they're going to go for it.
Up tempo here.
Yep. Fourth down and about 5. White with a clean pocket. Pitch, catch, Coxie breaks a tackle inside the 20, still fighting for yardage, and finally will be swarmed under at the 17-yard line. And this is something that Mike Norvell feels very strongly about. We're going to roll the dice. And it's not really a roll of the dice because the numbers actually favor you going on 4th and down, particularly 4th and short. Now, 4th and 5 numbers might not be quite as good, but they've made a commitment to this football team as a coaching staff. We are going to be more aggressive.
And I love the confidence it shows his team and the fact that, you know, he wants to make a statement here on this drive. Their quarterback playing well, Coxie catching everything. A great combination to go for it there.
And Kylan Watkins, a redshirt sophomore from here in Memphis, very smooth runner. They have big expectations for him. He carries and tackled by Joe Davis. Watkins carrying it inside the 10, bringing up second down and short. Meanwhile, Demonte Coxie, as we have a Southern player down. Demonte Coxie is now 10th on the Tigers' all-time receiving chart with 1,652 yards. Hunter Clay, the injured Jaguar, will step aside. 11:09 here in the third quarter. Opening drive in Memphis in the red zone.
Timeout.
Your local community bank is present to our partner with the University of Memphis Tiger fans again this season. The blue line.
For Southern, both Hunter Clay and Benjamin Harris were down momentarily, but they're now have been tended to as we have a second down and 1 forthcoming for Memphis. Opening drive, third quarter. Kylan Watkins is the lone setback for Brady White. Gibson, the receiver, to the near side. And nothing there for Watkins. That'll bring up third down and short. DeCavian Champion, senior out of Spring, Texas, playing in his 33rd career game.
It's third and short here, Pete, and if Coach Norvell went for it on the last fourth down, you figure if they don't get it here, probably 2-down situation to pick up a couple yards.
Watkins straight ahead, plows to about the 6. And where they marked it, it is a first down. The Cavian champion again on the stop. So Watkins actually sat out last season, transferred from UT Martin, never played for the Skyhawks, played at Whitehaven High School here in Memphis. He carries for the first down. And he remains in the backfield. First and goal for the Tigers. Watkins, the call again. Good crease, good push to the end zone and in for the touchdown. Kylan Watkins for the Tigers.
Rolling on the field for a touchdown.
Ball came loose well after the fact. Ruling on the field is a touchdown. I suspect that this will get a replay review, but kind of hard to see from that angle exactly when the ball crossed the plane, but clearly Watkins was over the line for his first touchdown in Tiger Blue.
I love the statement drive the Tigers made. Coach Norvell, especially there towards the goal line, pounding the ball in. And he went right up the middle behind his best offensive lineman, Dustin Woodard. Magnifico, the tight end, came around, pulling, clearing the crease out. Watkins did the rest.
So Watkins carries it into the end zone for his first touchdown as a Memphis Tiger, and the Tigers extend their lead 34-17 Memphis off the opening drive of the second half. Tiger fans breathing a little easier now as the Tigers have extended their lead to 34-17 over the Southern Jaguars. We will see the ball for the first time here in the second half. Now remember, Southern scored 14 points in the fourth quarter in their rally attempt against McNeese last week. So the Southern team not going to lie down by any stretch of the imagination. Patterson has it on the tee. And another touchback for Riley Patterson. Tigers go 64 yards in 12 plays. 4 minutes and 53 seconds elapsed. And Brady White continues to just be solid. 13 of 16 for 201 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. So now what can Ladarius Skelton do? And Devon Ben, his lead back. They've got dangerous outside weapons in Hunter Register and TJ Bedford as tall, long, rangy wide receivers. And here comes Glendon McDaniel, new quarterback. So it's not Ladarius Skelton. It'll be McDaniel, who is also frequently referred to by his nickname of Bubba, and he's going to run, and he will pitch on the option. And Ben near first down yardage at the 35-yard line. So we got a change here. I beg your pardon, it was Jamar Washington on the carry.
This is really a surprise with him coming in, and he played last week, but the way Skelton was playing, I thought this was going to be his ball game.
I thought so too. McDaniel is the more accurate passer of the two, and Odom said he had the best camp of any player for the Jaguars this fall. So a first down carry by Washington, who scored the initial touchdown of the game. Inside handoff and nothing there. Multiple waves of Tiger Blue. Ben dropped by Tim Hart. Bryce Huff with initial penetration as well.
And for this Memphis defense, they saw their offense come out, score on the first possession, really make a big statement. Now it's their opportunity. You probably got lit up a little bit at the halftime break, got some fire lit underneath them, but now it's their time to come out and really set the tempo for their side of the ball.
Second down and 10.
Come the blitz.
Tucker in motion. And the pass behind the intended receiver. Pass intended for Jamar Washington and Landry Thomas with the big hit. And Washington will have to go to the sideline as the helmet came off.
A third down coming up, and Thomas, see him lay the wood down there, being in the right place at the right time, reading McDaniel's eyes, flowing over the football. Good defensive play.
McDaniel 11 of 19 for 135 yards last week against McNeese. Trying to lead the rally, trying to do it again here. 3rd down and 10. Looks back for the play call.
Pressure's coming right up the middle.
Blitz up the middle. Rolls, fires, and off the hands of Travis Tucker, the tight end. It'll bring up 4th down. McDaniel rolled away from pressure, but Tucker not able to reel it in, and Memphis holds after giving up 1 first down on this drive.
I like the call by Adam Fuller, new quarterback in the game. Let's test him. There was an opportunity for Tucker. That's one he wished he could have back. Daniel got away just enough to get the ball off, but missed opportunity for Southern.
Baraha now in at the punter, and the rugby style boot, and gets a really good roll out of it inside the 20 all the way down to about the 15 or 16 yard line. So Baraha takes over the punting duties. Earlier they had a number 94 Daniel Edwards, who's listed as a linebacker, doing the punting, and it did not go well in the first half. Baraha gets 49 yards, most of it roll on that punt.
And they were lucky to get that one off. There's pressure again coming from the right side. It looked like a possible hold, maybe even. They got away with it. But there's been some issues on that punt unit.
Yeah, Pete Lembo, the special teams coordinator for the Tigers, has done a very good job of getting his team ready with pressure on punt block situations. Handoff to Gainwell. Picks up about 4 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 6. You know, we talk about all the weapons that Memphis has, and last year they were one of just 12 FBS teams to run more than 1,000 plays. They averaged 7 yards per play, and the only other teams that ran more than 1,000 and averaged 7 or more yards, yeah, Clemson and Alabama.
Pretty good company.
Yeah, exactly. 2nd down and 5. Cut back, and Gainwell out near 1st down yardage. And he does have it, so it'll be a 1st down for Memphis. Hunter Clay making the stop. And, you know, this is, you talk about, okay, Taylor's out with injury. Gainwell's running well. Kylan Watkins has scored a touchdown. Travion Samuel, I think, has maybe gotten 1 touch this afternoon. Timothy Taylor, they like him. And there's a freshman, Rodriguez Clark, that they'd like to see at some point. White, plenty of time. Flag down, going to take a deep shot off the fingertips of Gibson. Flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
4th penalty against the Tigers.
And that depth you talked about, Pete, it's really amazing because there's a lot of teams that don't even have a guy. Memphis has about 5 they have confidence in, and Gainwell with another nice run here. But when Taylor comes back, you know, they can split these guys out to the wide receiver position, do 2-back sets, 3-back sets. There's a lot of different formations they have the ability to use with that depth.
Yeah, Gainwell had 6 receptions last week against Ole Miss, in addition to 16 rushes, so 22 touches. And basically on that last drive helped Memphis salt the game away. Samuel up the gut to the 29-yard line. Samuel, a transfer from Troy, and also had been at Louisville. Jasmine Turner making the stop for Southern. 3rd down for Memphis. 4 of 8 on 3rd down conversions today. White, timing route, caught by Dykes, but it will not be enough. He'll be a yard short of the 1st down. Chase Foster with the tackle. And that might be one of those where Kevin Johns is going to remind Sean Dykes, make sure you get past the sticks, and Memphis is going to line up to go for it on 4th and less than a yard. They were 3 of 5 on 4th down against Ole Miss, and before the snap,
prior to the snap,
Southern got a timeout.
Timeout. Southern, their first. Media timeout.
We'll step aside here. 6:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Tigers facing a 4th and short when we come back.
Look at the back of your ticket for a great offer from Jen's Pizza. Buy one pizza, get one pizza free all season long at Jen's Pizza with 4 locations in Memphis, Cordova, Germantown, and Brooklyn. Online with Best Pizza in the city, Jen's Pizza, the pizza partner.
Fourth and very short for Brady White. And the Memphis Tigers at their own 35-yard line. And they'll get the first down the easy way. DeCavian Champion jumping offside, so this will be a first down via penalty.
Offside, number 91, defense. Enter the neutral zone, created contact. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
I talked with Brady White after practice on Wednesday, and the conversation turned to going on 4th down. And he said, despite the fact that Memphis went for 5 4th downs against Ole Miss, he said, there were times I was standing with my hands on my hips waiting for a 4th down call, and we decided to punt. We'll take a shot down the sideline, and it's reeled in by Magnifico. Oh, what a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch. A flag down, however, at the 34-yard line.
Pass interference for 5, defense. The penalties decline. Result of the play is a first down.
Montavious Gaines, pass interference. Magnifico was not involved against Ole Miss, and what an over-the-shoulder catch. 35 yards. He needs now less than, he came into the game needing 45 yards. Pass, end zone, leaping grab by Coxie, can't reel it in. That would have been quite the highlight. But about Magnifico, he came into today's game needing 322 yards to become the all-time Memphis leader in reception yards by a tight end, and he would pass his position coach, Alan Cross.
Good lineage, good tight end play in that room, and Magnifico doing it in the blocking game and out wide. 2nd down, Gainwell cracks inside the 10-yard line. That 45-yard reception by Magnifico is a career long. Yeah, how about the athleticism for a tight end to line up in line and then also out the wide receiver position, catch that ball. But the different formations and really problems that Coach Norvell can create with formations to the opposing defense, because he's got tight ends he can move around, running backs, wide receivers obviously, so a lot of different matchups he can highlight.
Average better than 17 yards a catch a year ago. Gainwell slicing through, lost the football out of bounds as he neared the first down stick, but a flag has been thrown. Montavious Gaines on the stop.
Holding, number 56, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Dylan Parham, the left guard, redshirt sophomore out of Georgia, has now started 16 consecutive games for Mike Norvell, but the flag there. I believe the play would have gone for a first down. It was right at the stick at the 5-yard line. So make it 3rd down and 14. Clock rolling upon 5 minutes remaining. Backside pressure, and Brady White goes down. Ball comes out, picked up. They're having it as a live ball, picked up by Jordan Lewis. Now flag has been thrown, and see if this stands.
There is no penalty, foul of the play. The result of the play, the fumble recovered by the defense, touchdown.
So Jordan Lewis, preseason first-team all-SWAC performer, forces the fumble, a scoop and score.
Lewis coming off the left side of the line of scrimmage. with speed, getting underneath the tackle.
Brian Thomas got beat on the left side. And Southern not going away. They get a defensive touchdown, 73 yards on the return by Jordan Lewis, the sophomore from Florida. Last season at 12 sacks. Strip sack score. And it's a 10-point game again, 34-24. Southern's defense, we talked them up at the top of the telecast. They delivered on that possession. The SWAC Freshman of the Year last year, Jordan Lewis, with the strip sack, scoop and score. Makes it 34-24. The only bit of bad news for Southern right now, Jay, is the fact that their defense has to go back on the field, and their defense, as Memphis's defense was on the field most of the first half, it's been flipped here in the second half.
It has, and it's a hot day out there, and they've had their moments where they've been able to get pressure, but you're right. You know, Memphis, other than that play, they've really controlled the line of scrimmage, the tempo, and played outstanding on offense here in the second half. That one mistake, and they're going to try to make amends here on this drive.
And another pooch kick as returned by Magnifico to the 35-yard line. Now you look at Dawson Odoms, and he has done a remarkable job. We talked about how the possession has flipped here in the second half from what we saw in the first half. But still Southern down just 10. And you saw Dawson Odoms a moment ago when he's had a full season as the head coach. Jaguars have never had a losing season. In fact, they've never had a 500 season. And that was smelled out immediately. Watkins taking punishment immediately from Brad Porter.
Porter came off the edge unblocked. He thought someone was going to wrap around the block and nobody came, so he just flew through the line of scrimmage to make the tackle.
Loss of 3 on the play. And now all of a sudden this becomes a very big possession for the Tigers. White, play action, steps up, delivers, beautiful ball, caught by Kadarian Jones into space at the 35, got a block, cuts back again, spins and is inside the 5-yard line. Kadarian Jones, the redshirt senior, finally tracked down by Benjamin Harris. But big play ability from the Tigers on display again, 66 yards on the completion from White to Kadarian Jones.
Look at these moves. Nobody's even touching them. The speed, following his blocks, and the wide receivers blocking downfield. Excellent job by the teammates, giving him a crease and then finishing off that run.
First and goal, and the handoff to Watkins. He's chopped down by Joe Davis.
And Pete, I'll tell you, being easy on the left side, back in the ball game, the left tackle. He was out on the previous drive. They're in, holding up to give White enough time to throw that ball.
Yeah, it was Thomas who allowed the strip sack, and so Easy comes back in. He's the starter. Big number 77, the redshirt sophomore out of Nashville. Second down and goal from the 4-yard line. White working from under center. Has Dorcius in as a blocking back. Gainwell struggling for the line, did not get there. He's down at the 1. And this is the same jumbo package we saw in the fourth quarter against Ole Miss with Joseph Dorcius, a defender, put in as fullback.
And you see big number 94 coming in the game. They're going to try to pound the ball in and make another statement here. I formation. I expect the Tigers try to run it here right up the middle and try to force Southern to stop them.
Third down from the 1. Gainwell, crease into the end zone for the Tiger touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell's second touchdown of the game.
Well, see Dorcius kick out block right there, then right up the middle. Magnifico on the backside cutting his man off, and then Woodard, Verona Lopez as well on that right side with the crease. And Gainwell, you know, we've seen him split out wide, but they're getting the tough yards on the goal line to score and punch it in.
Patterson punctuates a 65-yard, 5-play drive that took 2:16 off the clock. I mean, Memphis doesn't need a whole lot of time. I mean, they have so many weapons, and when we talked to them earlier this week, there were guys that are not on the 2 deep or the 3 deep that they're saying, this kid's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's like a freshman that's maybe 3rd or 4th on the depth chart, and they're talking about how, you know, this guy could potentially be one of the best here when their time comes. So there's so much talent here, and that's a testament to the recruiting, but also the development of these guys. But it's great to have depth because injuries are going to happen in a football season. Hot weather, you know, you don't know what it could be, but you got to have guys that have confidence to come in the ball game, and if somebody's out, you know, next man up, and Coach Norvell's done it here.
Particularly with Patrick Taylor out, Gainwell has more than sufficiently held his own. 16 rushes for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns.
It didn't seem like that last drive was kind of like, I'm mad at what happened on the previous one, and said, all right, this is enough is enough. Let's go ahead, pound it in, and make a statement.
Brandon Hinton back to return the kick from Patterson. And a fair catch called for on the goal line by Hinton. Well, if not for that strip sack and Memphis goes in, you know, you look at maybe now the floodgates are open. But credit to Southern. They have been resilient all afternoon long. They came out and they smacked Memphis in the face with an opening touchdown drive. Tigers back up to a 17-point advantage at 41-24. Dawson Odoms and the Southern Jaguars started the season number 3 in the HBCU poll. They dropped a spot after the loss to McNeese. But it's a school with a tremendous football tradition, playing their 1,000th game this afternoon. Over 600 victories and a flag down and a pre-snap penalty, a legal procedure.
False start. Number 9, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
But Southern, a proud program, 9 HBCU national championships. Been playing football for 101 years. Handoff, Cheney, nothing there. Mr. Cheney beat Mr. Desmond Hawkins.
Mr. Hawkins filled it up there. Nice tackle, and for this defense, you know, they're out in the field predominantly the first half now. It's much easier to play aggressive and attack when you're rested and you're not out there for long drives.
Ladarius Skelton played the first half. Bubba McDaniel now on the field here in the second half at quarterback. Mackey goes in motion. Screen set up. And this is what we thought we would see. 2nd and long and a screen play. Cheney on the reception, but it will still bring up 3rd down and long. That was something that we had heard from Adam Fuller. If Southern gets behind the chains on 2nd down, look for a screen. And we saw it there, and Memphis had it pretty well diagnosed, forcing a 3rd down and 10.
It's good hustle and pressure. Getting pressure in the backfield, then the backside defenders make him go out of bounds.
McDaniel from the gun looks back to the sideline for the play call. Play clock inside of 5. Blitz coming up the middle. McDaniel in trouble, spun down and sacked. J.J. Russell accepting congratulations. And McDaniel had nowhere to go with that. Pressure right up the middle, and Russell basically unblocked.
Good job timing that out well, and then getting the sack. You know, you can't just run back there, fly back there, and miss it. You've got to execute. And Russell, and we saw him on a couple blitzes in the first half, but I really like how Adam Fuller and Coach Norvell on the offensive side being aggressive here in the second half, putting pressure on Southern to make a play. And right now, Memphis is taking it to him.
Jatari Carter, the starting left tackle, helped to the sidelines. Baraha on for the punt. And punt protection has been an issue for Southern this afternoon. Pop Williams standing at his own 45-yard line. Tigers figure to have outstanding field position. And that one also partially blocked. It will roll dead right around the 20-yard line. Colton Cochran breaking through and getting the punt block. Second punt that has been blocked this afternoon, and at least the third that has been somewhat affected by the Memphis punt rush. So the Tigers, I thought they'd have really good field position with Pop Williams returning from the 45. They have outstanding field position on the edge of the red zone at the Southern 20-yard line.
And I'm not sure what's going on with the punt protection unit of Southern. Cochran untouched right up the middle. It's almost like they're daring him, and he executed. And this special teams, Pete Limbo, they're doing a great job in the third phase of the ball game, really starring.
Play fake to Gainwell. White throws it back. Gainwell, touchdown, Tigers! Amazing play design by Kevin Johns. The fake and then the throwback to Gainwell, and not a white jersey anywhere in sight.
I love the ball fake. Then White looking over towards the right. Gainwell sneaking out of the backfield. And you've got a guy that can run and catch. What a weapon. And Gainwell is flowing out into the flat, wide open. And now the Tigers really stretching out this lead and doing a good job of making adjustments at halftime, executing here in the second half.
Yeah, Memphis led 27-17 at halftime, but they have dominated this third quarter in every phase. And you are seeing Kenneth Gainwell. He's going to get some national attention after a 3-touchdown day. 16 carries, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. 4 receptions for 38 yards and a touchdown. And Brady White has just been on point today. 17 of 21, 337 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Mike Norvell could not have asked for a better performance from his redshirt junior quarterback.
And he's been making great decisions, leading the team, confident signal caller, and we talked about how smart he is. You know, he's making the right decisions, distributing the football, and it really seems like this offense has confidence, but they're in rhythm, and everything they're doing is keeping Southern on their heels.
And they've avoided the pre-snap penalties that plagued them. The only turnover, that strip sack of Brady White, that resulted in the Southern touchdown, as Patterson has it on the tee, and another fair catch called for and executed. Memphis, a Kylan Watkins touchdown here in the third. Gainwell, a 1-yard rushing touchdown and a 21-yard receiving touchdown, all here in the third quarter. First down and 10 now for Southern with 36 seconds remaining in what has been for them a disastrous third quarter. Nelson carries to the 30-yard line. And Ladarius Skelton is back in the game at quarterback. Carlito Gonzalez making the tackle for Memphis is now. The Tigers will take advantage of the 48-24 score to get some young guys some reps. 3 in the books and 1 to play in Memphis, to the Tigers in total control. A dominant third quarter from the home team. Only blemish, the strip sack and score for Southern. Other than that, all Memphis in the third. Halter, this was a third quarter that looked like what Memphis wanted to do from the start.
Domination. They came out of the halftime break, put a really stamp on this third quarter, said, hey, we're going to come out here. We're going to control the rest of this ball game. They did it on the ground and through the air. Time of possession, though. They flipped that whole stat around, held on to the football, and really dominated.
And nothing there for the Southern ball carrier. Braylon Brown wrapping up Craig Nelson. That'll bring up third down with the second play of the fourth and final quarter. So how about this? Memphis ran 21 plays in the first half. They ran 27 in the third quarter, and Dawson Odom's team ran just 8. Now they did get a touchdown, a defensive touchdown, but that quarter belonged to the Memphis Tigers. Line to gain is the 35 for Ladarius Skelton back in at quarterback. Good pocket, and that's just a flat out drop by Jamar Alexander. That's a first down if he catches it.
That's the second drop this half, both on third downs. Critical mistakes. Not able to continue the drive.
Dawson Odom saw his team put up 14 points against McNeese in the fourth quarter last week. Why is that significant? Well, last year they scored 14 fourth quarter points the entire year. Baraha back to punt, and Pop Williams back at his 35-yard line. And you see the wide gaps, and that one nearly blocked. Baraha went down. There's no flag on the play. Williams picks it up on the bounce, gives ground, and tries to turn the corner, and he's dragged out at the 24-yard line. Southern got the punt away, but just barely. Memphis ball with a 24-point lead when we come back. Memphis Tigers trying to drop the hammer here, 48-24. Early fourth quarter action, and Connor Adair is going to come in. Played a couple of games last year, only attempted 2 passes. So Brady White's day is done. And it was a full man-size meal for him today. Connor Adair, redshirt sophomore from Trussville, Alabama. Play action. Throwback. Kadarian Jones across the 25. I beg your pardon, Kylan Watkins to the 26-yard line. Now, Brady White leaving the game at this point is very, very important for you, Jay. You know why?
What?
Brady White passed for 337 yards today. His career high of 362 yards passing came against East Carolina.
The Pirates.
There you go.
The foes, the AAC.
But you were not on that particular.
I was not there.
No, you were not at ECU at that point in time.
Unfortunately, I'm a little bit older.
Short run for Kylan Watkins. Joe Davis with a stop. That'll bring up third down.
A good opportunity, though. We've talked about the depth for Memphis. Adair in the ball game, an opportunity for him to get valuable reps. A lot of the starters still in the ball game. Continue to build and give him some experience.
So White 17 of 21 for 337 yards. Adair, that's good for a first down and a little bit more. Kadarian Jones on the reception.
Wide receivers from Memphis, they're doing an outstanding job with their routes, coming in and out of their breaks quickly, moving the defenders off of them. And it just looks like they're in rhythm with their quarterbacks, whether it's White or Adair.
Yeah, Brady White certainly, an understanding Adair through that pass, but Brady White certainly has their attention. He said that last year he and Coxie bumped heads a little bit, but they're now on the same page as Watkins carries out just shy of a first down to the 47-yard line for Memphis. But we anticipated Southern would be playing some softer coverage on the wideouts rather than the press that Memphis saw against Ole Miss, and I think they've taken advantage of that. They've taken advantage with some short routes, and then they have had some longer shots downfield, but they've been content to work underneath. Yeah,
and really what the defense gave them, Memphis has taken, and they've been able to pinpoint the areas, that they want to try to attack, and they've really done it at a high level. The play calling has been outstanding. The guys out in the field, have really just been in a rhythm. They've been confident, and they've been able to move the ball really at ease down the field.
Second down was converted. Getting our first look at Rodriguez Clark. Another talented running back for the Memphis Tigers. And they got a lot of them. 6-foot freshman from Starkville, Mississippi, getting his first carry as a Memphis Tiger. It's good for a Memphis first down. The ball out of the midfield marker. Adair. That's Taj Washington on the reception. Kenan Tate, backup linebacker for the Jaguars, on the stop. Adair played his high school football in the Birmingham area. As a senior, threw for 30 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, completed 69% of his passes. And you see on his shoulder the patch, the Tiger Scholar patch. A lot of academic achievement for this Memphis team as well. On second down, Adair gonna take a shot. Go! Incomplete. Laid it right in there for Javon Ivory.
I'll tell you, even though this is incomplete, look at the protection up front. The offensive line, clean pocket. Just wish you could have that one back.
Got to catch that. Got to catch that. But Javon Ivory, a true freshman out of Grove Hill, Alabama. Adair's thinking, come on, man, I need a touchdown.
Yeah. Trying to light it up.
Third down and 7. Adair. That one is caught. Oh, Joey Magnifico has worked the sideline beautifully a couple of times today. His second catch of the afternoon.
Split out wide, just straight streak route down the sideline. 240 pounds, 6'4", the athleticism. And then he's got a speed matchup over linebackers. He's got the height advantage over the DBs. And Adair and Magnifico clicking.
25 yards on the pickup, first down. Hesitation move by Watkins, and he keeps the legs churning.
Magnifico there had a great block, coming around, pulling. You know, love to see that out of the tight ends that can block and catch, go and make a big play in the pass game, and then go do the dirty work, helping out your running back.
21 receptions a year ago, 2, make it 3 now this afternoon for Magnifico. Big hole, left side. Clark carries to the 10-yard line, and another Memphis first down. Kyle McGregor, backup linebacker, is now Lionel Washington, the Southern defensive coordinator, starting to mix in some more reserves as this game rolls toward its conclusion with Memphis firmly in charge. Tigers with 11 players from Louisiana. Of course, Southern located in Baton Rouge. Clark, touchdown Tigers! (54-24). Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over with 8:46 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Here, Clark, nothing like getting your first touchdown. Look at the little shake right there. The freshman getting into the end zone. What a play, and that's just a glimpse of the talent he has and where this Memphis team has really turned it on here in the second half.
And Patrick Taylor out due to injury. Been doing a lot of congratulating of teammates as Memphis has hung a double nickel on the board. 55-24. This was a 10-point game at halftime. Gaping hole, Rodriguez Clark introduced to the striped paradise to the end zone. Complete performance by the Memphis Tigers this afternoon, 55-24 over the Southern University Jaguars. Defense, run defense, Jay, in the first half a little shaky, gave up 157 net rushing yards. They have given up 10 in the second half to a Southern team that was running up and down the field with pretty substantial regularity in that first half. But script has been flipped here in the second half as this kickoff away, and it comes up short. And the special teams, Pete Lembo's done a masterful job. Brandon Hinton on the return, Kylan Watkins, Nehemiah Augustus with the stop. And what stands out to me, Jay, is this Memphis team did a Jerry Seinfeld at halftime. Wait a minute.
They really did. They came out here and they showed the talent they have, but they also showed the in-game adjustments they can make. And on the defensive side of the ball, they blitzed more in the second half, and then they did not allow Southern to get to the outside. They kept everything inside. They tackled better, and then their offense just came out with a purpose again. You know, I thought the offense was darn good in the first half, but the second half they were on fire.
Yeah, just a dominant performance on both sides of the ball. Skelton keeps on the option inside the 20 to the 21-yard line, so pickup of 6, make it second down and 4. Bryce Huff on the stop. Southern plays Edward Waters in their home opener next Saturday, a 6 o'clock kick. They are very unused to early starts. Today's game kicked at 11 a.m. local time. Skelton keeps. Boy, look at the push from the defensive line for the Tigers. Morris Joseph making the play. Meanwhile, for Memphis, Jay, this is kind of interesting. Memphis, their practice schedule, they do their football activities in the morning, and then you go to class. For a lot of years, a lot of teams, like, you go to class, and then when you're done with class, you go play football. So really an 11 a.m. start for Memphis is ideal.
Yeah, I mean, this is perfect for them, and I love that strategy of getting practice done in the morning. That's when you have the most energy, and that's what when you can really focus your day starting with football and then take class over from there in the afternoon.
McDaniel has subbed in at quarterback. And he's in all kinds of trouble, rolling, throwing, and caught on the sideline by one of the Memphis assistant coaches, who is not an eligible receiver. And it looks like Skelton is receiving some medical attention on the sideline. So that brings up 4th down. And Memphis will get the football back with 7:09 remaining. As some of the crowd has already departed to their tailgate spots. This victory having been secured, so Memphis will go to 2-0 on the season. And Southern 0-2. Baraha. Low punt. Pop Williams trying to turn the corner, hemmed in, and out of bounds at the 47-yard line, but into Southern territory. Brandon Hinton with the stop. We'll step aside. Just under 7 remaining. Tiger Palm Squad, perennially one of the best in the country, enjoying a 55-24 lead over the Southern Jaguars. Connor Adair in for his second series. And Memphis already on the southern side of the field. Straight ahead, this is Timothy Taylor. Taylor carries to the 43-yard line. He becomes the 6th Memphis rusher. 9 different Tigers have caught at least one pass. Coxie, 6 grabs for 112 yards. And for Mike Norvell, Jay, this game checks pretty much all the boxes.
It does. He's got to have a lot of pleasure in watching so many guys contribute to this win. You know, again, seeing some of these young guys come and get an opportunity and excel, the veterans do their job. It just goes to show you that, you know, now they're having success, but later on in the season, you know, when there's injuries, when different things happen throughout the year, you can count on these guys to come up and step in and play a big role.
And Timothy Taylor last year played in 5 games, carried for 62 yards, redshirted as a true freshman. It's the carry here and is spun down near first down yardage on a 3rd and 1 play. This should be a Memphis first down to keep the chains and the clock moving.
And Pete, for Coach Norvell, starting off the season, you're going to be 2-0. You beat your rival. What a huge win that was, and played so well. Now there were some areas, you know, with the penalties and some other mistakes they made, but now coming to this game, you know, dominant victory. A lot of young guys playing. There's a lot of things to build on, and you know, there's some improvement areas, but there's so many great things that they've displayed. You know, this is a team that's going to have a chance this year to win the AAC, and really, you know, I think if they can play well on defense, you know, it's going to be a special season.
Flag thrown on the carry. Marquavius Weaver with the carry.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Titus Jones from New Orleans, Louisiana, redshirted freshman. Guilty of the infraction. Yeah, I mean, a game like this allows you to see what else you have after Patrick Taylor, after Kenny Gainwell. Who else do you have? And I mean, so many guys have participated, have touched the football, and have been productive when they've gotten their touches. First down and 20 for the Tigers from the Southern 46. Weaver carries again. Hunter Clay on the stop.
Something that I really liked that Coach Norvell did was go for it a couple times on 4th down and be aggressive. That mindset of having confidence in your team and saying, hey guys, listen, 4th and short, we're going for it. You know, I think you can get no matter where we're out on the field. And that's a mindset thing. If your player out in the huddle knowing that your coach, he's got our back, you know, that's something that really gives you a big boost when you're playing.
It's an offense that really found its juice in the 3rd quarter.
And the other thing that does is it puts so much pressure on a defense because they know, hey, this is a coach that's going to make us stop them 4 times in a row.
Weaver carries. 3rd down and long. Now Dawson Odoms, one thing that plagued his team last week, 5 fumbles, none today. They have not turned the football over. They forced one. Adair swings it out. Catch made. Not nearly enough for the first down. Tumbled down at the 30-yard line is Taylor. The reception out of the backfield. That's one thing we have not seen a lot of today. We've not seen a lot of passing to running backs, but Coxey's been sensational. Kadarian Jones and Gibson have also been good. And so on 4th down, Adair over the middle. First down on the completion to Coy Fairman. His first reception as a Memphis Tiger.
Well, they've really navigated the middle of the field. The wide receivers doing a good job setting up there in the middle of the zone defense. Fairman crossing the route. You got to present your numbers to the quarterback. Adair finding him over the middle.
Fairman, a cousin of running back Patrick Taylor. Tigers now 5 of 7 on 4th down this season, so that gives Mike Norvell all kinds of ammunition to tell his guys, hey, we're fine on 4th down. There's no need to worry about it. Rodriguez Clark carries to the 15. Colin Gibbons stop for Southern. Memphis has racked up, and I almost had to put my reading glasses on to check it, 565 yards of offense. They have been an absolute machine here in the 2nd half. Clark getting a number of carries today, and I know that that is something that Mike Norvell and offensive coordinator Kevin Johns are going to be thrilled with. They really, really like Clark, and Clark wasn't on the 2 deep. I don't even think it was on the 3 deep, but the opportunity has presented itself. Clark now with 25 yards on 5 carries. Taylor spun down, wrestled down to the ground. Christopher Thomas. So the Tigers offense breaks down thusly: 230 yards in the first half, 338 in the 2nd half.
What a day.
Video game numbers, really. And Brady White, for the 9th time in his 16 starts wearing Tiger stripes, he has thrown for 2 or more touchdowns. 17 of 21, 337, and 2 TDs without a pick. Taylor slashing to a first down at the 5-yard line, and again Memphis converting a 4th down.
You know, we've talked about the special teams 2P, but that's another area. That's, you know, that's the 3rd phase that Memphis is going to have an advantage. Probably every team they play this year, blocking the punts today. Then Pop Williams as well. This was a complete win. The talent showing in all 3 phases of the ball game.
Final 14 seconds spooling off here, and Memphis wins it 55-24. Tigers go to 2-0. The fireworks go off in the end zone, and we'll be back to put a bow on this one. 55-24. Tigers with a victory in their first ever meeting with the Southern Jaguars.
Memphis football team would like to thank you for your support. So for your first December 26th, Tigers will take on Navy on the military first afternoon. Game time slotted for 7 p.m. Offensive line for 169-231. That's just GoTigersGoTix.com. Get your tickets today. On your way home tonight, tune in to the Memphis game show live on Rock 102.7. This is the Game Live Show. Get your perspective on players, coaches, and you. Rock 102.7, the playing show station. You want us to start? Memphis football announcer award Tigers with new promotion. And the couple of winners of this game. Visit Andy. Online or visit a app to receive the
Brady White with one of the better games of his Memphis career. 2 touchdowns, 337 yards without an interception. 55-24 the final here at the Liberty Bowl. The Tigers go to 2-0 on the season. Jay Sonhalter, in another line of my work, I've had a coach tell me, this is a professional win.
Yeah.
You handled your business.
A mature win. They made adjustments when they had to. They dominated at the right points coming out of the halftime break, and they closed this ball game out. They did it on the ground, through the air, special teams. The defense got pressure in the second half. This is a win that you can build on, and momentum you can carry into next week.
One of the things that the Tigers coaching staff didn't like against Ole Miss, they felt that they left points on the table. There weren't a whole lot of points left on this table, folks. This was a dominant second half performance by the Memphis Tigers. 55-24 is your final score. Brady White, 17 of 21 for 337 yards. Kenny Gainwell, a couple of rushing touchdowns as he got the start today. Also had a receiving touchdown. 3-touchdown day for him. For Jay Sonhalter and the rest of our terrific crew, I'm Pete Pranica. Thanks so much for watching. Tigers over the Jaguars, 55-24. Thanks for watching, and good afternoon, everybody.